Really?
There we go. That was a quick one today.
Hello.
Oh,
Good. Thanks for having me on again.
that was fun.
Yeah. I love coming on here.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, what was it, a couple of weeks ago? I was talking to Lori, and we're like, I wish we could get her on here to hang out with us, but you're on everybody's show.
By the end of the year, well, actually, by the end of October, it'll have been, from my last count, I know I've added more, but 135 podcasts this year.
Wow. That's,
Yeah. I should just get my own show. I would save so much time.
I was gonna say, have yours and have everybody else on.
Right. Actually, I've thought about it. Like Lori said that I should do it. Pop said I should do it, but that's a big commitment. That's a lot of work. I'm a pretty lazy person. Everyone thinks I'm not because I have like 100 issues written and I get my books out in 24 hours, but I'm essentially lazy, just not with the story. So, but I don't know. We'll see. I have a YouTube channel that I've never really posted anything on. I literally just told people, oh, if it goes to 50, I'll start a show or something, and I think it's up to like 38. I haven't checked.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Now you've this is book 7, and you've been doing this for how long?
1 year Halloween.
Nice.
So I've technically come out. Everyone's like, oh, you've done 7 issues. That's really impressive. Technically, if you want to look at the statistics of it, I've done 8 because I had a first artist that did issue 1 and I redid issue 1. So technically I've released 8 different issues, but it's 7th in this series. It is the last issue in book 1. So like a lot of stuff gets answered, a lot more questions come out. But we find out a lot that's going on. It's also larger than most. It's 38 pages. Yeah, it's the same price. So so no one can yell at me that it's double an issue. But there was a lot going on. And it's really tough because I didn't know what pages to post on the Kickstarter because everything was a spoiler from what the 6 issues were. So I was like, I can't put this, and I can't put this. And I was like, so the ones I chose as best I could. So yeah. But we got to see the angel and the demon fight on a page, which is one of my favorite. So
yeah. Now, do you? I know we were talking about what we can't talk about. Do you want me to show the video?
Yeah, great.
So let's do that.
Thanks.
And then we'll get into it.
Awesome. I need to speed these up. They're always so long. So much has happened in 7 issues. case you can't tell, I really want animation one day.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Someday. That's the dream come true. Everyone's like, oh, what's your ultimate goal? I was like, I want an animated series. And a survival game would be awesome too. Since it started from a survival game, I would love to have like a Resident Evil, Silent Hill type game. But they only cost like $200,000 to make, nothing big. Whatever. Though I have been asked by a lot to get an RPG out, and that would be where you come in, because I wouldn't know what the hell to do. Everyone's like, oh, you're an RPG. I was like, not tabletop. I don't know how to do that. But I always think of you. I was like, oh, he'll have to do it.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I just finished and funded mine. So I mean.
Yeah, I know. I bought it. I backed it. So yeah, but I mean it would be a cool game, I think.
Oh yeah.
But now I'm making plushies. My plushie sold for this one already. I had the Hellhound was the new one for this one. And my friend that bought the Skeleton Bird last time bought this one. She's like, I'm gonna have a whole shelf full of limited edition plushies. And I was like, yeah. But I want 2 new ones per book, and then have, of course, the Hellhound and my Anubis plushie. But the 2 for next book is the plushie salamander, and I don't know why I'm doing this one. This is more for me. It's so they're in a haunted asylum in book 2. So the zombies have straitjackets on. So I'm doing a plushie with a straitjacket.
Nice.
So plushie zombie with a straitjacket. So that'll be interesting. So book 2 has more zombies, so I don't know what plushies I'm gonna have in there. We'll see. Plushies galore.
You're known for being a getting them out religiously. Okay, getting them out quickly.
Yeah.
I know you said you've written quite a few ahead. Do you ever have to go back and go, oh yeah, I remember that now?
So, all right. I have, for this series 1 alone, not including spinoffs, prequels, and series 2, I have 50 written. And when I was converting the stories to scripts, I've always been obsessed with book 3. You're not supposed to have favorites, and my co-writer's like, you can't have a favorite. I have a favorite. It is book 3. So I have been so looking forward to book 3 that when I went to go script book 2, I was like, this happens? I don't remember this. I was like, did you know that we have zombies in book 2? Because I was so set on the zombies in book 3. And she's like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, yeah, they have straitjackets on. I was like, and we have giant salamanders, and we have the ghost children, and we have a giant man-eating plant. Do you remember any of this? And she's like, no. So we have been so obsessed with book 3 that I forgot how action-packed book 2 is. And it's way more action than book 1. And everyone's like, oh, book 1 has the most action. I was like, you have not seen book 2 yet.
Yeah.
I mean, issue 8 just got, I guess it's book 1 so chapter 1 of book 2 just got drawn out. It's almost through coloring, and yeah, I'm looking forward to book 2. I was like, and so I have really good bigger artists for covers in book 2. So I've never been asked questions about covers. I just had a couple people I know make the covers for me, and I love them. But so I got bigger names because I found out that Resident Evil, comic book, I never thought I could hire the artist. So of course I had to hire the artist. So I hired 2 Resident Evil artists from, the Wildstorm DC, and one of them also did the interior art for Army of Darkness. So he's doing one. So, and then I found the artist for Buffy comic. So he's doing book 2. And he's like, so what should I put on the cover? And I never tell him what to put on the cover because I'm just like, do your thing, whatever. And he's like, well, what happens? And I was like, okay, let me think. So I had to go back and read the script. I was like, all right, they fight a ghost couple. They fight giant salamanders, man-eating plant, and then it ends with zombies. So any of those things you can do. He's like, is this the book or the issue? I was like, no, it's just the issue. So, yeah. And I tried to make the issues 28 pages. I really tried. And chapter 1 started as 28 pages. But I read it over and I was like, oh, he's beating up zombies here. It should be bigger panels. I want to see details. So now it's 32 pages. So
nice.
Yeah, I suck at the 28-page thing. Everyone's like, normal comics are 22 to 24 pages. And I was like, really? Oh, well. So, but then I'd have like 100 issues if I went by that, you know? And I already have 100 issues with just everything put together. So it's going to take like 7 years to get all this out. We do like 6 to 7 a year. So we're doing the 6 next year. It's going to end on Halloween again. But book 3 is 10 issues. So that's that might take longer, or I'll do double issues or something. I'll figure it out. So I got time. So it seems to be flying by. I mean, it feels like 1 year feels like it should be longer, and it's already 1 year at the same time. Like, I don't know how it's both that, but yeah.
We just had January last week, I thought.
Yeah. What happened? I don't know. And then I celebrated my 3 years with my co-writer, and I was sitting on the couch with her, and we were watching like Ash versus the Army. What's the show?
Ash versus Evil Dead.
Yeah. So we were watching that, and then I don't know what she blurted this out, which is why we have more plushies for 2. She's like, it'd be cool as a plushie salamander. I was like, son of a, yep. And I literally took my phone and texted my plushie queen and said, I need a plushie salamander. And she's like, all right, I'm on it. So yeah. And then last night I ordered I was like, can you do a plushie zombie with a straitjacket? And she's like, buckles working or not working? I was like, ooh, working. I was like, let's go with the working if we can. So
you gotta.
Yeah, so she's looking into that today, and I'm all excited. I have a little miniature straitjacket with the little buckles. I have a whole 1920s dollhouse of an asylum.
Nice.
So this is my favorite. This is see the little buckles. I don't know if you can see them. But yeah, someone made this for me, and I have tons of stuff. That's so funny. I never showed Lori any of this, and I was on her show, and I was like, oh, I'm just looking at my mini straitjacket. And she's like, you're what? And I was like, well, I have a bed with chains on it. I have a old-fashioned wheelchair chains. I have a zombie autopsy going on here.
Nice.
So, yeah, I might have to do a dollhouse of my own story. So I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 dollhouse set up. I love miniatures. I think they're freaking, especially when they're like, it looks like you shrunk something to be miniature. Like it looks just identical to it. So yeah, I'm obsessed with that. But that's random.
I do a lot of the 3D printing for it too. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the new one I got. I think I sold 1 or 2 already. The busts of Anubis.
Yeah, they came out nice.
Didn't they? Like, so detailed. I sent my design for the Hellhound yesterday. I'd like the Hellhound. Obviously 3D printed. I do have statues for the Hellhound being made. The artist that did the Anubis is on my page, and the zombie merman and the skeleton bird I've yet to put on there because I don't want to sell it. So there's that. But he just sent me the pictures for the cute chibi-styled Hellhound, and he's like, is it too fluffy? I was like, no, I love it so much. I was like, I want 2 more. Add 2 more to the list. And he's like, okay. And then I showed my biggest fan, and he's like, I'll take one. I was like, add another one to the list. So yeah, it's just tough because everything's so expensive to be made, So for me to sell it, I barely get profit on anything. I like owning it, and it makes it tax deductible selling it. So yeah.
So if you're known for merch, that's not a secret. Yeah. If you had 10 times the budget you do now, what would you get? What would you get?
Oh man. Action figures for sure. Like definitely action figures. But man, if we're going whatever, man, that just opens up. I would love bronze statues. I love bronze. And the statues, obviously, I would like also, what is the one? Someone just told me about them. What is the really, really detailed ones they have for the comic stores? and I guess they only make it for comic book stores. I think he said it was like 1,500 for each one. I was like, that I'd get one of those. I'd get one of those.
Like the Hot Toys kind of a thing.
Yeah, something like that. The more detail, the better. And I would love, like, hell, if we got all the money in the world, I'd get a robotic like Anubis, man. It would like follow behind me at like cons, and that would be like epic. And don't put these thoughts in my head, man, because I'll figure them out. I'll figure out how to make it happen. But yeah, it's limitless of what I would make. Mostly Anubis and Hellhounds and stuff like that. But yeah,
I know my buddy Jay, he does the RPG Fae.
Yeah.
I have it around here somewhere. I'm writing a story for him. He actually has a puppet that he takes to his conventions with him.
I need a puppet now. Thanks for that.
There you go.
I got this made. Oh my God. 20 years ago straight from Japan. It's obviously it's Leon from 4. He's got the jacket and the guns. He holds the gun too. He's got his little gloves. This thing cost me 20 years ago like $400. The person did not speak English at all, and there's no Google, so I don't know exactly how this transaction went. I just remember that she was very popular for making these, and now I wish I could find it because I'd be like, hey, I need more stuff. But I love this thing, and the jacket's getting so old. But I mean, you know what? After he does all that shit on that game, this is probably what it would look like. But that thing was so detailed. I love it. Like, I love that. But to this day, I can't remember how we communicated. I think I showed them a picture and like my credit card. Like, here's my credit card. Make this. And then she did. And it took forever to get to me because she handmade them. She will only make one once. And then she will never duplicate it, which was hard because she had so many amazing ones on her website. She had a Link. I love Link from Zelda. And she had everybody, but one time, that's it. And it was worth every penny because it's got to be over 20 years because I've been with my husband for 10 years. How the whole old? Yeah, it had to be over 20 years. I'm getting older by the second. I can't remember. Worth every penny. Well, when did Resident Evil 4 come out? Because it had to have been right around then. It's a good question.
Was it in the 90s?
I think it was 96. 96 or 99. Let me see. Resident Evil 4 release. And now, of course, not the original. 2005. So almost 20 years ago.
Wow.
Man, that's when I started, pretty much when I started role-playing. I started role-playing. It's so easy to find out because all I have to do is look up the Stay Alive movie. Stay Alive movie. 2006. So, I started 2006 because I saw the movie and was looking up the true facts of Elizabeth Bathory, which I thought was fascinating. And I came upon MySpace, and they were using the pictures of the actors, and I was like, I'm gonna guess you're not them. And she's like, no, we're role players. And I was like, is that legal? Because you're using somebody else's picture. She's like, yeah. It's like, she made me feel so stupid. She's like, yeah, of course it is. And I was like, listen, lady, I don't know what you're talking about. So she's like, just pick a character and then you play it. So I'm looking around the room and I had this, which I can't believe I still don't have, but I had a huge cutout of Leon from Resident Evil 4 because all the nerds at the stores loved me. So I got tons of stuff. And I was like, I want to be Claire so I could find a Leon to write with. So that's why I started writing. I want to be Claire Redfield. And let me tell you, I RP'd Claire Redfield for 15 years and never found a Leon. Never. I RP'd with 3 over time and they never stayed longer than 1 or 2 replies. But you know who Claire went amazing with? Dean Winchester from Supernatural.
Really?
I always RP'd with them. They always fit so well together. And then that's why I went into the genre of Supernatural. So the story you have today is because I was obsessed with Resident Evil and Supernatural. So, good times. So definitely changed my life. So you can always trace it back to something. Like, oh, I could go, stay alive, change my life because I found role playing. But if you went further back, Resident Evil 2 changed my life because that's why I started writing in the first place. So yeah, and then you can go back to the commercial of the alligators, the reason why I played Resident Evil 2. So, which is why I feel like I need a plushie for an alligator. So there is the black alligators in book 4, but I don't know if I want to wait that long. So maybe I'll put him in 3.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to wait that long. So maybe I'll have either a zombie alligator or a skeleton alligator. We'll see how that works out. So
yeah, my first, I mean, of course I had the Atari all the way up through, but my first PlayStation game was Resident Evil.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah. I love that thing ever since.
Resident Evil 2. So I started Resident Evil 2, not 1. So when you play Resident Evil 2 first and then you go back to 1 seems a little bit more boring. Yeah. But I did love them too. So, but
now you've been on a lot of shows, and I want to try to ask you something that other people didn't, because again, even we've been talking for a while.
Yeah.
Both on and off. So let me ask you something.
Yes.
What? How do I want to word this? What's one of the common beliefs in comics that you either extremely agree with or you think should be changed?
Like something that's them being made, because I had a delusion that how hard can they be, and they're exceptionally hard. But actually in them, so there's a lot that I was stupid, naive for, and I don't know how much better I've gotten, but I like, so the thing that I changed that most didn't have is mine has true thought bubbles, balloons.
Mm-hmm.
The original comics did have them, but they were kind of exposition. They weren't actual thoughts into the character's head. So I would love comics to have more of the thought bubbles, because so my comic is a mix of, comic and novel put together. One of my favorite things about novels is to get inside the character's head. So I would love to get into their head more, not the boring exposition like, oh, there's a, whatever is going on. And that was one of my favorite things that I was able to do. And I didn't even know it wasn't a thing because I didn't even think ahead about it. I was just like, oh, my characters think so much. I would have no dialogue if I didn't have thought bubbles. So I wish that more comics had that, because I do like to know what they're thinking, especially, between two specific characters. There's not a lot of relationships in comics either, especially horror. Like mine's like Romeo and Juliet in hell without being, mushy. It's just, they're soulmates. They belong together, but they pretty much just kick ass nonstop. So I would like the thought bubbles and like more relationship without it being a romance. It's hard to advertise mine because it is a romance, but it's not. It's, it's a horror with the romance undertones on it, and I love that. You don't really see that much now, and I'm surprised. I thought no guy would like that. I was like, I can't tell anybody there's romance in this because they probably won't figure it out if they're men anyway, and all this sexist bullshit that I had in my head. And then I had these guys be like, when are they gonna kiss? And I was like, really? So they didn't kiss until issue 5. But yeah, I didn't think that guys would be all into this, especially like my past letterer. He was like, they've been apart for 10 years. They meet up and they don't kiss or happy to see each other. Don't you think you need to change that? And I was like, no. I was like, and I'll tell you why. I was like, 1, she thinks it's a trick. He thinks it's a dream. 2, they're attacked 4 seconds later by an entire town of ghosts. And 3, they're cold-hearted. They thought the other one was dead. This is just, it's not a happy reunion. It is, but it's not. And plus we don't really have that kind of romance going on. They love each other, and it. They haven't said it. I don't even think they say it till like book 3. So, but they do love each other. But yeah, it's just not a romance. I don't even know what to call it. It's a, what did I say it was the other day, which is not a good saying. I think I said it was a rash. It was romantic adventure, supernatural horror. And I was like, so, if anyone wants a rash, you can read it. So it's not I didn't say that out loud to anybody else. But here the exclusive is that was the the letters put together. I was like, what does this spell? I was like, rash. I was like, I'm sure it could spell something a little bit better than that. But it's just like it's just like Shaun of the Dead. He kind of changed the genre of horror rom-com thing. So yeah, it's kind of like that. And that was like my favorite movie of, probably of all time. Or it's one or two of that group. And I have and I'm looking at right now, the movie poster and the signed autograph that he sent me. Did I ever tell you that I met him in New York City?
No.
So when I was watching Spaced. I don't know if you ever saw that. Yeah. But he was on it. And it was pretty much my life in a nutshell. So I loved it. And I never in my entire life to this day, before or after, except for him, wrote to any famous person ever, except for all these artists that I'm writing to. So I wrote to him after he was playing the Resident Evil 2 section. He was playing the game in the show, which is actually where Shaun of the Dead came from, was this scene. So I actually sent him a letter, and in limited edition, of course, a double, limited edition Leon foil card from the pack. And I sent it to him, and I said, I saw you playing Leon, and this is, I wanted you to have this. So I got back a generic signed autograph, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And you could tell it wasn't from him per se. It was just, So 2 weeks later, I got another autograph, but this time everything was personalized to me. And it says, get red on you. And it says, so he must have gotten the card. Like they probably sent it out generically. They gave him the card. So when I met him in New York and he was signing my book, I said, you probably don't remember this, but I sent you something like years ago. And it was like, oh, the Leon card. I was like, yes. He's like, yeah, that was awesome. I still have it. I was like, that just, I could have died happy right then and there. Cause I always loved Shaun of the Dead. So, also egg, but yeah, so that was like the highlight of my existence. So yeah, which is sad in a way, but still.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think, the only one I really met was, he said it wasn't him, but Nicolas Cage.
He said it wasn't him? Oh
my God. Yeah. No, I was at the Philly Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And no, it was Pittsburgh. I lied to you. It was Pittsburgh.
Lies.
And I had a booth there, and it's just after hours, and I'm sitting there, and this guy comes down and he sits next to me, and I'm like, look, you get this all the time. You are a dead ringer for Nick Cage. He goes, yeah, they tell me I should go be his stunt double. And it sounded like him, looked like so because he's a big comic guy.
Yeah.
So I mean, we just BS'd for hours about comics and stuff. I didn't press anything.
Yeah.
I knew he wouldn't really be into that.
Yeah, he has a tattoo of Ghost Rider. They had to cover it up for the Ghost Rider movie.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was funny. I'm so mad because two people came to my con as guests, and I was at the stupid table, which is why I hate being at a table, so I couldn't go. But it was Sean Astin and Kevin Smith. And I wanted to see, but the lines were like 4 hours long. So my husband would have never survived at a table for that long. So next time. But yeah, that's awesome that you met him though. He's such a liar. I don't blame him. He's got such a unique look. There's no way you would mistake him for anybody else. But yeah.
Exactly.
You tell me that all the time.
Yeah. Just because my driver's license says it doesn't mean I am.
Yeah, right. Well, maybe it was one of his other personalities he was playing.
Yeah, really.
Character. I'm not Nicolas Cage today.
But they did have Drusilla there at that same con.
Love her.
Yeah.
I bought my husband a cameo video from her.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, can you talk to my husband in the voice of Drusilla? And she did, and spot on. And I think he's like in love with the video now. I have videos from Spike, James, and he's crazy, by the way. I don't know if it's an act, but he's crazy. Like even on the video, like I don't know what he's talking about. He went on talking about some party that David was at, and he was crazy, and he'll lie to you, and don't listen to David. It was just so crazy. And then I have everyone from Supernatural. I've met everyone from Supernatural.
Really?
Oh yeah, I went on a cruise with Misha, who plays Castiel. Yep. It was like a 6-hour cruise or something. I've spent 30 minutes with Jensen, and Oh, Jared stepped on my foot and I fell into Jensen, which I was terrified and embarrassed. And then he remembered it when I was like 3 months later behind stage. No. Aren't you the one I stepped on? I was like, yes, you freaking tower. Which I wasn't mad. I was just like, he's like, I'm so sorry. And I was like, nope, that's okay. Yeah, I met them all. And the cameos I got were Bobby and the twins that played Andrew.
Yeah.
And they're great. Bobby's the best. Like his video was awesome. He'll pop on and then disappear for like 4 years. So like seriously, it was a $50 video. He popped on. I had an alert. I've been waiting years. He popped on. It said I bought it right away. $50, bought it, and he was gone in 12 hours. After he did the video, that was it. Gone again.
Wow.
Like he had a bill to pay or something and came on for like 50 videos. Like I don't know. So, but yeah, good times.
Well, he was on The Boys, wasn't he?
Jensen was. Did Bobby go on there too?
I could have sworn.
I actually didn't watch the. I watched the scene that froze Amazon, Prime of Jensen.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. But I haven't seen the whole series. I do want to watch it. The artist that does the coloring, I don't know if he does the art too, but I know he colors The Boys. Used to work on Resident Evil, Tony, and I kind of want him to color my cover. So I might write to him. I'm still waiting for. There's a Silent Hill comic artist that I want that did Downpour. I think it's Kristen Jones, and I wrote in every medium I could think of, and I have not heard yet. But because that's all I'm missing. I'm missing Silent Hill and Supernatural. And I'm really upset about Supernatural because the person's too busy. I was like, I have 50 issues. Just put me on your list. And then the other two never answered. So I'm like, come on, I need a Supernatural artist. Because whatever. Someday. Maybe.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that one. Because I actually live near a town called Centralia. And I don't know if you know it. And I don't blame you. You do?
You should not go near that.
That's the Silent Hill Downpour.
Yes, that's the artist I want. Tristan Jones, I believe, right? Is that what it says?
I think so. Yeah.
It was not easy to find names. You think that names would be evident, but no, they're not. It took forever to find the Resident Evil ones because they're not listed right, and I don't even know who the colorist is. Exactly. I don't know if you saw the new. Have you seen the new Resident Evil cover that I have? It's freaking phenomenal and the most expensive I've paid yet just for inks.
Let me bring that up. I can go take a look at that.
Let me see. If you don't have it, I'll send it to you right now. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Okay, I gotta see. This is the only thing I don't like about StreamYard is they don't auto switch you to this. Is it one of these?
No. So there's a war going on between these, by the way. There. See how the picture's clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so scroll up. There's scratches. So I had two polls going between Twitter and Facebook, and they were so adamant on their side and halfway, like both sides. I had to do both. So now Lori's on the scratches team, and I'm on the clear team, and clear is winning, mind you.
Yep.
So
I'm on team clear.
Yeah. See, look how bright and pretty it is, and it's just so dark and bright at the same time. But everyone's like, it was so funny how adamant they were about their side. It was literally split down the middle. And they fought for their side too, which was so much fun. Like one person wrote a whole paragraph of how the scratches fits the story because the story's dark and violent, and then you got to have the scratches. And then the other person's fighting on their side, saying, "Yeah, but it's darker with the clear." So it's you gotta have the dark one. So I was like, I'm just gonna have both. Well, now I'm like fighting with Lori about who's gonna win. And I think scratches was 2 the last time I checked, and the clear was 5. So
we can make it 6 today. So.
Woohoo! Yeah, and then my brother bought both, and I was like, "You can't do that. That's cheating."
No, that's not allowed. No,
it's not allowed. But yeah, so I'm a clear all the way, and that's the one I bought in metal too, by the way, the clear. So
nice.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of worked out because I asked whoever bought the metal. They always buy the metal. I'm like, which one do you want, the clear, the scratch? And they both chose the clear. I was like, then the clear it is because it would look better metal anyway. So yeah, clear's winning.
And metal might naturally get some kind of scratches on it, so they can have best of both right there, right?
win. I'm telling you. Absolutely win. No, the picture I'm talking about, I just sent it to you. It's in actually issue 8 or chapter 1 of book 2. And it's so detailed and it's so phenomenal. And I need and I'm hoping CC will color it. She said she's busy. My artist just wrote me. I just got home from vacation and can't wait to start pages. I love my artist. He cracks me up because he'll message me during vacations and be like, I missed the pages. It's like, I'm having withdrawals over here. This time was only a week though. Last time it was a month and we were dying. We're like, we need pages. So yeah.
There we go. I wanted to download it so I could actually zoom in and show.
Oh, isn't that gorgeous? The Hellhound looks like a bear and I love it.
Yeah.
Hellhound's like, I'm just going to tear you all apart. And he's just like checking it out. Oh, I love it. Look at all the detail.
I still like his story, how it was just intended as a...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was in the story, in the novel, he was like 2 pages. Mm-hmm. And he's getting his own miniseries, and he's getting a point of view, and he's in the prequel because the angel and demon that their fathers stole his Anubis' soul. So that's how they all kind of connected. But yeah, look at the freaking details.
I like that.
And Draven looks badass. Everyone screws up Draven. He always looks horrible. Like, that's why my artist has to do everything because I'm like, no one could, but he looks so badass there. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah. I just realized it looks like they're about to grope her, but whatever.
And who would?
But yeah, so I'm CC Dela Cruz. So I told her, I was like, I really want you to color this. And I was like, but you're not going to get it done in time. And it has to be done by December because I moved it up because originally this was supposed to be. So the Buffy artist is doing issue 9.
Mm-hmm.
So the Army of Darkness artist is doing issue 10. So this would have been like, I couldn't wait to issue 11. So I was like, you're going to be issue 8. But now I was like, now I need to color. So I cried and complained and buttered up CC. And she's like, all right, I'll get done with my pages today and this week. And then I'm going to try to work on yours next week. I was like, yes, please try. So I was like, you're the only one I trust. So yeah, she'll work on it. She's the one that did my, the Anubis issue 4 that everyone loves.
Right.
The most popular cover I've ever had. But yeah, so hopefully she'll get to it. And I can't wait to see it colored. But I'm actually, for the first time, because I got talked into it, I'm going to have a black and white cover and the color.
Oh, really?
So now we're going to have a fight against the color and the black and white. Yeah.
Wow. And
I'm going to put this wood etched too. So we'll see.
Wood etched.
Yeah. I have one fan that always gets the plushies. And then I have one fan that always gets the 3D statues. And then I have the fan that does all the wood etching. So I literally just buy them for them. One for me, one for them. And then one for like, in case somebody else wants to buy it. But I mean, wood grain's incredibly expensive to buy. I mean, it's like almost $30 just to, so I just kind of break even on it, but it looks so cool. Look at that. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. That's a lot of detail.
Yeah, so he picked the design. I don't know these artists. They picked the design and then they're like, it's so much work. I was like, you picked it. I didn't pick it. Like, you sent me 8 layouts. I had to choose one, which was not easy. This one won above all other ones. I mean, so I picked this one and then like, he goes, I'll get it done in like 2 days. And I was like, really? So like a week later, I was like, how's the progress going? He goes, it's so much work. I was like, hey, there's no rush, man, but you picked it. He loved it. He had a really good time with it. And I told him he has got to come back to book 3 because it's all zombies and Resident Evil. So we're going to have another one from him. But I've never spent so much on covers ever. So we're hoping that people appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it'll pay off. I'm sure.
It's gorgeous, I have to say.
Plus, you can always have these as the a cover coloring book.
Yes. Yes, I do have a coloring book now, and these will be in the next one. Because we have a coloring book in the add-ons where you can color it digitally or you can color it a print copy. And I've had a couple of people buy that. So yeah, this will be in the next one. I'm saving all those pages, but I'm super excited to see it colored and wood grained. And I'm gonna have, man, it's gonna be everywhere. It's gonna be a print, a magnet, a sticker. I don't care, whatever it takes. This thing is gonna be everywhere.
Yeah.
Because not only am I gonna get my money's worth, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really too hard to choose between the color and the black and white. So I'm going to definitely have both. Just that's what I did with Anubis. His black and white was so amazing as is. And then Cece De La Cruz just made it better from Lady Death. So I had to get both of those. And they both sell really well. So yeah, get your money's worth, man. I'm nervous when I spend that much. I had no idea what it was going to look like. You know, I was like, you're a Resident Evil artist. I don't even know which one you are because there's two in the same issue. And a lot, I don't want to say this long. A couple of reviews said the second artist is better. So I was like, crap, I don't know who the second artist is because it does not list it. So I'm just you're the first one that answered me back. You're going to do a cover for me. And I'm just going to hope that it's worth the money that I'm shelling out for. But I will say, originally, it was $2,000.
Wow.
And he says, I do lower for indie. And I was like, well, thank all that exists because I cannot pay $2,000. So, and then I was upset it didn't color. And I hadn't asked that right away. And I was like, damn it, that's a lot of money for inks. And I was like, all right, let's pull the trigger. I don't really have a choice. And it just worth every penny. But it's like, I just can't get a regular colorist. Not regular, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, I know what you
mean. You can't ruin something that looks that gorgeous. And even if they don't ruin, you need to bring out the most potential in that one. And it's hard to tell which one it's going to be. So I never know how colors are going to look because I don't know. Sometimes they look great. Sometimes they don't look great to me. And everyone's like, oh, that's phenomenal. I was like, really? So I don't know.
Yeah, you need somebody like Gabe to do that one.
Yeah.
That El Taib guy. Yeah. He would nail that out the park.
How do I get in touch with them?
Hold on, I'll get you his info.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I have all these, and then I'm gonna have the one that did Army of Darkness and Resident Evil.
I can't wait to see the Army of Darkness one. I ain't gonna lie.
Me too. And then I have another one who did. It's not Army of Darkness. That's the other one. He did Ash versus Darkness. Is it just Darkness? No. I gotta look. It's one of the. It's not. I know it's not Resident Evil. It's not Ash versus Army of Darkness, but I think it's just plain Darkness. But I have to look. I didn't know there was so many comics for Ash. I had all of Ash versus Jason and Friday the 15th. I think Jason and Freddy.
Jason versus Freddy versus Ash.
Yeah, and then there's Army of Darkness.
Yep.
And then there's, I think, Versus Darkness or something. I'll have to look. But he's a little more cartoony, but still.
Yeah, I had the Ash versus Army of Darkness one.
Yeah, that's the artist. The internal artist is the one doing it. Yeah, I have a really rough sketch. I'll show you. He changed it. It was originally Draven and Seraphina, which of course I love. But I said to him, you know, if you want, you could do Anubis and Seraphina. Or I said you could do Anubis and the Croc. And he said, I want to draw the girl. I was like, you can do Anubis and the girl. I don't know why he wants to do the girl. So he sent me this yesterday. And he said, how about this? And I was like, yeah. So it's a zombie attacking Anubis. And then Seraphina's in the background. So when I pay a lot of money, I probably should always include Anubis because Anubis is the most popular.
I was going to say, he seems to be your mascot now.
Oh, he is now the official mascot. Yeah. Yeah. That's why on the poster, you can't see it's too far away, but he actually has the angelic weapon, which is the logo attached to his weapon.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so that's the rough sketch, but he's like, I'll start it next week. And I was like, all right. So that's the Army of Darkness guy.
Nice.
Kevin Sharp. I thanked him for having a name I could say out loud. So I can't say a lot of names correctly, but I'm looking forward to it. And I wish people. Yeah, this is going to be. See, this is not until issue 10. It's going to be March or April.
In 3 weeks, it's just.
Yeah. You know, if I could afford, like, if I if people could afford it, I would release these monthly because I have them. I don't even know if people can afford them every other month yet. So we're still working that out. And I gave them a break for Christmas unless something arrives. And then, I'm going to have a 1 week Kickstarter for anyone that wants it for Christmas. And I just sent my artist a picture I want of it's a Christmas holiday special print.
Right.
And it's an old fashioned I'll send it to you so you can see it. So this is the print he's gonna get the outfit from. So it's gonna be Serafina wearing this outfit, and she's gonna be on the Impala, and then in one hand she's gonna have a gift wrapped or a bow around a zombie head, and in the other hand she's gonna have a bloody dagger. And then behind her is going to be a snowy cemetery with zombies coming out, and they're going to have like Santa hats on. So
nice.
That's my holiday special. Yeah. He's like, okay. So fortunately, my artist does them pretty quick because I just throw things out at him. Like we have a promo picture. Did Lori show you the promo picture we got? That
I didn't see that. No.
If you back both, you get this print for free. There, I send it to you.
Okay.
That was my idea. I just really wanted to see. We decided we wanted a jealous Draven, so we had her character touching my character's hand, and Draven's like hooked out, about to kill everybody. So, then at the last minute, I added, huh?
I said, "Do you mind if I put it up, or is this another Geek Don't Show?" Okay. Nice.
Yeah, so we've got Big James there. We've got Anubis there. Yeah, you've got my. I didn't ask for him not to have a shirt, but I'm not arguing either. I was like, did he Hulk out or something? So first it was just an angry picture that we wanted Draven to be jealous, but then halfway through my artist drawing, it was like I thought he was going to kill me for adding 2 more characters, and I was like, can you add Big James and Anubis? And I thought he was going to yell at me. I was going to threaten to add money to it. And he's like, yeah, of course. I was like, okay, good. And then he sends me, he goes, I thought this was going to be a boring pick, and now I'm looking forward to doing it. I was like, really? Oh, yeah. So it worked out better. But yeah, it's gorgeous.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So whoever backs both will get the print for free.
I like that. The 2 unintentional mascots. And then.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So I've convinced her to finally get some kind of plushie for Big James. Mostly because people won't shut up about it, and they're using my name as clout, I guess. They're like, Corissa has plushies. That's fine.
No.
Yeah. She said that to me the other day. She goes, how come every time I'm on a podcast, somebody brings up your name? And it's usually about merch or plushies or something. I was like, I have no idea. It's probably because I never shut up. So it's hard to not hear me when I ramble on and on. So
that is awesome.
Yeah.
What was I gonna? Oh, you're gonna hate me.
Oh,
but
okay,
as you were talking, have you thought about a calendar yet? Because you do yearly.
Okay. That's a good call. I did not think of that. And I have a Christmas special too.
That's why I was. Yeah.
That's a tricky one. Great. Now I need a damn calendar.
Just a thought.
No, I can do that. I have really great covers, and I could do. Yeah. I would. So we've been wanting to do the pinups of Serafina, and she'll never be topless, but we like the old-fashioned pinup thing. So we wanted to do one where she was pretty much, as in a bikini or whatever, and Draven was going to be like running towards her with like a like a towel or something. Mm-hmm. So I might do that one for summer, and then I could do a calendar. I'm going to kill you. Yeah. Because now I want to do this. I could do like 2 prints of it per Kickstarter of book 2, and then at the end offer it as a calendar. Yeah. All right then.
This way it pays for itself.
Yeah.
And then for each holiday, you can take a little mini picture inside the date, like Anubis with a Santa hat. And
I like that.
Arbor Day. I don't know what you do for Arbor Day, but it's just trees and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, if it's for that would be wrong. I was gonna say for trees, I would have Croc with a stick in his mouth, but you're not supposed to ruin trees on Arbor Day, so
close enough. No, they would.
So, but whatever, Croc is gonna have a stick in his mouth, so we might have to do it that way.
There you go.
Yeah. Good call. More merch.
Yes. It's what we do. It's what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a bunch of questions. But we're already almost at that hour, so I'll ask you one last thing.
Sure.
What's something that people in indie comics should either start or stop doing?
They need to start for Kickstarter or for comics?
For comics in general. What should we start doing or stop doing?
That's a good question.
Sorry.
No. Well, for this goes both ways, but I think we should stop having like 20 covers for one. But some people like it, so I can't complain. I do 3 to give them a choice. But I had somebody do 19. I mean, yeah, and there's actually quite a few that do so many, and I guess it pays off for them. I don't know. I think that's a bit much. But so I don't know if I should say they should stop. I'm just wondering if they should slow down that many or what. And I think that they should get them out faster. I told Lori, and it's so funny because I just got her comics in the mail, and then she started a Kickstarter. I was like, already? I just got them. She's like, it's been 6 months since my last one. I was like, really? So, yeah, I'm like, I can't imagine going 6 months. So I was like, so fat, but that's not their fault. I mean, I think the problem is that the writers have to pay for everything, and the artist. And nothing against artists. I obviously love artists. I love my artist. But when you listen to these artists on Facebook, they act like we're horrible people because we ask for like collaborations or whatever, which I can't believe I just said that word right. So bonus on me. But they keep saying, oh, the writers are so cheap and don't start a comic book if you can't afford it and blah, blah. I was like, we get that you do a lot of work, but we come up with an entire world. And I really think that both is needing. And yeah, artistry is hard, but I mean, you have a picture book without us. A lot of artists can't do the story, and a lot of obviously writers can't do the art. And I know a few that do both, and I know a few that look phenomenal, but generally when they do both, sometimes, nobody come kill me, they're just mediocre in both ends, but I know why you'd have to do it. You'd have to do it. And again, I know a lot that could do both. Like my friend Jeremy, he could do both. I mean, his stories, he's got a werewolf story coming out. And I thought he was like, when he said, I'm going to try drawing it myself, I was like, you're crazy. And then I was like, wow, yeah, that's good. So it does happen. But I just think that artists need to understand a little bit more where writers are coming from. Because I'm putting myself into debt to do this because I love my story. And everyone gets so jealous, like, oh, you've got 7 books out already. I was like, you can too if you want to go in debt. Like, this is not a hard thing. This is a money thing. I already have the story written and all that stuff. So I would say a couple of things is artists and writers need to understand each other and work together a little bit. I'm not saying do your work for free, but like my colorist is giving me a phenomenal deal. And if my Kickstarter goes above a certain point, they get a bonus. And the same with my artist, so if it does better based on their work, then they get paid for it more, obviously, but they have a flat rate too. So it just kind of, they just need to understand better. So I think artists need to just be a little bit more understanding of where writers are coming from. And that's why a lot of them are out of work too. I mean, I can't afford 120 page artists just to do inks. I can't. I wouldn't have 7 out. So I would say a more understanding and more of that, and less nudity. But it brings in money. I get why they do it. I saw a $70,000 tier, a $70,000 Kickstarter because it was all topless. And I just won't go that route. But I get why people do. I mean, I make what, $3,000 a Kickstarter? They make like 300,000, Yeah. But nudity is free on the internet. I don't get it, but yeah. So I would say a little bit less.
It's not just lines on paper.
Yeah, I guess. I would think that the free porn would be better, but what do I know? But yeah, I think the whole thing between artists and writers need to get together and figure something out instead of yelling at each other. Mostly it's the artist yelling. It's not the writers aren't yelling. They want to get their story out. So anyway, that's a long-winded answer. Sorry.
No, it's what we need.
Yeah.
And last but not least, well, I mean, we'll do the where can we find your stuff then, but what's one question you wish I would have asked you?
Man, you really put me on the spot.
So that's what I teach. So I'm used to I'm used to come up with these kind of questions.
One question I wish you asked me.
Yes. Or you wish anybody would have asked you as far as any of the interviewers.
I wish I like origin questions. Where did your characters come from? Why is it named Worthy Chaos? I like those questions because then I get to say things without just talking about them. I got a reason to say. Laura yells at me all the time. She goes, "You give too much information." I was like, "I love talking about it." Yeah. But yeah, anything origins, how it started, the past lives, why, like I said, why it's named Worthy Chaos, things like that. I like to explain things that I'm not allowed to talk about. But see, I have an answer.
There you go. All right. Well, we've hit pretty much our hour. And where are we going to find you next? You said you have 4 more today.
Three more. At 1:00, I'm going to be on Dead Guy's channel with Jeremy. 6:15 is recorded, so you can't find me. But 9 is with Nathan Simmons. I don't know what his channel is called, and I probably should. But he's in my phone as Nathan Simmons. So, but yeah, and then I have 2 tomorrow and 2 on Sunday, 2 Monday, 1 Tuesday. My slacking, but I only have 35 this campaign. So 42 last time. I'm slacking, man. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
I know. I don't know. But I'll just have to come back on again and ramble on, and then you can answer the other questions. So
there we go.
Book 2's coming in January. I have to come back for book 2.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll send you the link to do the calendar again.
Yeah. Yeah, now I have to. I have no choice. So I've already got ideas in my head of what I want. I got Christmas down because I'm going to have the holiday special. So
yep.
Awesome.
And then next Christmas is already planned with the calendar. So I mean, you're set.
I'm good to go. I don't know what Halloween's going to be. Everything's horror. It should be like the most mundane thing on Halloween because, yeah, maybe I'll have the zombies having a picnic.
Yeah, that'd be a good spring one.
Yeah, you're right.
Of course, you got Valentine's Day down. That's a given.
Yeah. Summer's going to be the bikini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
January could be the Hellhound dressed like the cherub. Aww, with the New Year sash with the dice. See? It's what
I love it.
It's what we do.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Like my artist really needed more work.
I know. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, Fun Man Kickstarter, Worthy Chaos.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then we'll let you get going so you can have a break before your next one. But hold off, I want to show you something on when we're done.
Gross.
All right, we'll see you in a while.
Thank you. Bye.
Have fun.